Rob Hughes. Everybody needs a motto. That's mine. Thought I might try my hand at Buddhism, ladies and gentlemen. Why not? You only live once. A friend of mine gave me some advice recently. I told him I was getting a bit bored with life. He said, what you got to do? Excite things up, liven things up. Live each day as though it were your last. So now I spend my time lying in bed crying, wishing I'd done more with my life. Have you ever noticed how your prayers are always go unanswered? That's God's way of telling you he doesn't exist. People say to me quite often, at the time I do comedy, they say, why do you do comedy? It's a very interesting question. Why do you think I do comedy? Thank you very much. Give me some sugar. No, give me some sugar. Come on. Come. I always get what I want. No, I do comedy because I'm interested in laughter. I think laughter is a very fascinating thing. I do have a very strong inner critic though. You're all familiar with the concept of having a voice on this shoulder and a voice on this shoulder? Yeah? What happens with me is I get a voice on this shoulder that says, you're wasting your time, mate, you're never going to make it, you're shit. And on this shoulder I've got a little voice that says, he's right, you know. But I am very interested in laughter. Laughter's a fascinating thing. What amazes me the most about laughter is when you see somebody whose laugh doesn't suit their face. Do you know what I mean? Like this lady here, both very demure, sort of gentle looking ladies, but it wouldn't surprise me one jot if I was to tell you a joke and you were to go, no, it's like an inaudible laugh. Yeah, but that's something that does fascinate me about people with laughter. Another thing, it's amazing that I ever got into comedy because when I started hearing jokes as a kid, I always got too involved in the storytelling element of the joke. I always lost track of the fact that a joke was being told, and I got really involved in the story. Like if somebody ever said to me, 3 blokes walk into a pub, my response would be to lean and go, all right, what happened next? And this is true, and this happens to me now. Last Christmas I was with my son. My oldest son is 5 years old, and I get too absorbed in what we're doing. Like we were looking out the window, looking for Father Christmas. It was Christmas Eve. Oh, where is he? Where is he, boy? Where is he? Can you see him? Can you see him? I look back. My son's lying on the bed, fast asleep by the bed. So cute, lying there. And I went back to it. Got too absorbed in the moment. Yeah, he's 5 years old, my boy, and recently I had a bit of a row with my wife about something regarding him. I said, he's 5 years old, he's going to school, he needs to learn to wipe his own bum. Reasonable? Yeah? She said, yeah, you're absolutely right, he does. I'll get my brother to teach him. Now that's a bit fucking weird. I'm his dad, right? She does not need to outsource this job. I can do that for him. I said, no, you don't have to get your brother to teach him. I will teach him, it's fine. She said, I don't want you to teach him. You do it wrong. Now, but my pants are clean, right? I said, what do you mean I do it wrong? I'm not scooping feces out of the bowl and smearing it back on. I do it right. She said, no, it's not that. You stand up. No, I'm not ashamed to say that. This is my technique. I stand, I yank, and I wipe. And I've got a very clean bum. Now, she says the common technique among people is to, I can't even do it, to sit down and wipe. So just do a little bit of a survey, madam. Stood or seated? She doesn't wipe. She doesn't wipe. Sir, stood or seated?
Stood.
Stood or seated? Seated. Freak. Stood or seated? Good. Well, we got a 50-50 design. I'm going to have to go deeper into the room, ladies and gentlemen. Stood or seated?
I can do both.
You may well be able to do both, but which do you choose? What day it is? Hear me. Stood or seated?
Lying down.
Stood or seated? Freak. Stood or seated?
Stood.
Stood. Stood or seated?
You know my answer already, mate.
He stands. We've had this conversation. Stood or seated? Last one, sir. Stood or seated? Seated. Seated. So it's a 50-50 divide, right? I told her this. She's adamant. I'm the only guy in the world that stands for this. So I said, no way is your brother teaching my son to wipe his bum. I'm going to do it. I will not stand for it. She said, well, as long as you promise not to. I said, no, you misunderstand me. I'm not going to not stand for it. I will stand for it. But I won't tolerate somebody else doing it. She said, well, I don't think I'm going to take this sitting down. At which point we all just got very confused. Anybody here film fans?
Yeah.
Yeah? I watched a film with my wife recently. It was on TV. It was an old film called Indecent Proposal. Do you all know that film?
Yeah.
Yeah? The plot of the film basically is Demi Moore, Woody Harrelson plays a young couple. They're a bit tired up for money, and Robert Redford is a billionaire playboy who offers $1 million to spend one night with Demi Moore. So I was watching this with my wife, and she looked at me and she said, if a millionaire playboy, Robert Redford, offered me £1 million to sleep with him, you wouldn't want me to do it, would you? Now, gentlemen, there's only one correct response to that question, right? And it's not the response that I gave, which was, well, no, of course I wouldn't want you to do it, but I would expect you to. She said, how could you do it? You went berserk. She said, how could you expect me to do that? Sleep with this man for £1 million? I said, well, look, come on. Keep it in perspective. It's not like he's some tramp off the street that's won the lottery. He's a handsome, debonair, billionaire businessman. He's Robert Redford. He's a hunk. A lot of women would love it. She said, it's not the point that he's handsome, he's attractive, and he's a billionaire. How would you put yourself in my shoes? What would you say if Carmen Electra said to you, would you sleep with me for £1 million? I'd say, no, I haven't got £1 million. Yeah. Before I go, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you one thing. This is something that happened the other day with my son, a 5-year-old, that really did make me laugh. Kids' perception of the world is very different to our own, because they're seeing things for the first time, they're interpreting the world sort of afresh and brand new. He asked me a very funny question. He said, Daddy, we were building something out of Lego, and he said to me, Daddy, how long did it take to make me? As if we'd made him, we'd assembled him, and I laughed. I said, that's a funny question. So I stopped laughing when his mother piped up. She said 2 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Rob Hughes. Thanks for listening. Good night.
Thanks very much. Thanks a million. Thanks very much. Thank you. Stop it. I don't know if the rest of you are like this. When you walk into a room with an air freshener, you're kind of wondering what the fuck happened in this room. It's great. I'm from Ireland. I'm from the west of Ireland, and it's grand living over there. Hence why I'm over here. And I most enjoyable time over there was when I was really young, when I was in primary school. Just a quick question: when you were in primary school, from the age around 5 to 11, how many were in your class? Roughly. 20. There are 5. There were 24 people in the entire school, right? And we had, in my class there were 5 of us. There was myself. I was the one that kept everyone in order. You know, I was a good student, the lick arse, as you might say. But I was a good student and all that. And then you had other students. For instance, a guy called James. Now James, he was favoured by a lot of people in school. Why? Because his dad owned a toy shop. Now, back then, that was the same as if your friend now would turn to you and say, well, this is my dad, he's Peter Stringfellow. And then you had Luke. Luke was another lad. Luke was the sports player in the school. He was the kind of, the one that, well, I would say all the girls would go for in the class, but the only other girl the only girl that was in his class was his twin sister. And well, it was West of Ireland, so wherever it was. And then there was Sean. Now, Sean will be the person I'll be talking a lot about tonight, because I nearly wrote an entire set on the lad. Sean was probably the dumbest fuckers I have ever met in my entire life, and I do excuse the language, but his brain cells consisted of a cabbage and an egg. Sean was a traveller, and pure travelling background, and Sean came to come to school an hour before school started. Right? We never knew why, we just thought his parents absolutely hated him. And he always stood before the school even opened, an hour before, outside the school. And then one day, there was a break-in at the school the night before, and Sean was the first on the scene. And he saw what happened. He saw that people climbed in the window and did something inside. Well, he couldn't go inside because the teacher wasn't there to open the door. We all arrived. Sean was all excited there at the gate, about to tell us what happened, and then the teacher arrived. And he darted through us and went to our teacher, our principal, and said, Sir, I'm going to say something to you, son, that's going to break your heart. It is going to break your heart, son. Someone has broken into the school, son. Someone has broken into the school. And before you say anything, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. If I was to do it, I would have gone and taken your keys, come to the school the night before, and walked in the front door like any other human being. And most of you didn't understand a fucking word I was saying. So our teacher was like, oh, thanks Sean. Went in and looked at the damage. There wasn't much, just a couple of things stolen. And before you knew it, just to God's honest truth, Sean was on the phone, not just to the guards, the Irish police. He called the Coast Guards. You had this little sheet of paper that gave you all the emergency service numbers. He had the Coast Guards. He rang the Coast Guards. Now, why did Sean ring the Coast Guards? Because our school was situated half a mile from a lake and a stream ran from the back. That was the only reason he called the Coast Guard. And I eventually went on to secondary school with Sean. And that was some ordeal. You know when you go to secondary school, first time, big skill, one getting with the gangs. With a West Side story on your ass. Because gangs click now. And Sean was again with a gang. There was one group of lads and they always used to hang around the shop, because at lunchtime we'd always go down to the shop, the local shop, to get our lunch. But the cool lads would hang around outside and they might steal something from inside the shop. They'd all hang around, someone would come out with, what's that? Dairy milk. The lad would come out with, what's that? Polo mints. Badass. So Sean thought, right, if I want to be in this group, I have to steal something from this shop. He went up to the lads and said, lads, I will go in for you. I'll go in and I'll steal something for you. At the same time, another guy, Paul. Now, Paul was a degree and a rubber glove away from becoming a vet. Paul was a very smart child. But he thought, right, I want to be in a group as well. So the two of them competed against each other in the shop to steal something, to be in the gang. 5 minutes later, Sean came out of the shop, which what I can only describe as the oddest situation in my entire life. Sean had a full cooked chicken in his hand. Not one of those like a leg or a thigh or anything like that. He had a full cooked chicken. Paul came out of the shop, 2 dolly mixtures. You can imagine who got into the group. No way did they let Sean in, based on the fact that he was nearly classified as mentally insane for stealing a chicken from the shop. That's grand and all. Sean didn't exist. I'm fair to say, Sean didn't exist. That was me. And but I kind of thought, I better not say, no, yeah, I've come out, I am Sean. And no, it is great to be here. I love Cardiff, I love the transport, I love the train stations. Jesus Christ. Last week something happened, something magical happened. There was myself and around 150 other people standing on the train platform. We're all there waiting for a train, as you do. And there waiting for the train, and across, on the platform across from us, there was a roof with seagulls on it. And the seagulls were doing something which I'd never seen birds do in real life, was have sex. And There's a lesbian joke in there somewhere. I didn't have time to write it, but it's in there somewhere. And the two seagulls were having sex, and it was weird because they're making a sound which I can only describe as the funniest fucking sound in my life. It was a mixture between a donkey and one of those, you know, the Zorbs that roll down a hill. One of those. And it was a weird sound. And suddenly, like I looked around and I was the only one that seemed to be laughing at this. Everyone else on the platform was looking at us, but I had this very straight face. And I was in no big whatsoever. On the exact same time, everyone, like children of the corn, took out their mobile phones and just videoed these two birds having sex on the opposite platform. I feel sorry for the birds for being violated. Oh, I feel dirty. I wanted to be looking up here for now, but good night, so now put away your phone. I feel violated. But it was me, and then the trains, have you seen these? These are amazing, the posters on the Welsh trains. Don't burn it, Bernie. Have you seen Don't Burn It, Bernie? These are posters on a lot of the trains, and it's to tell people of Wales not to burn things. I don't think there's any other country in the world that has posters telling you, don't burn that. And Bernie is the mascot. Bernie is a sheep. Right? This sounds true. So I'm not familiar with the pyromaniac community of Wales, but I imagine before they light a fire they don't go, oh fuck Bernie. And it's weird. I don't know if any of you are in here tonight that enjoy burning stuff, but if you're told by a sheep not to do it, don't say that to the police. And I was sitting on the train and I had one of those magazines, like a men's magazine, and you know when you flick through a magazine and there's always the one page around 4 times thicker than every other page. What does it mean? A free sample of aftershave. I flicked through and I came to that page. It was something like Deutsche Gabbana for men. And I was like, oh, this is brilliant. Because I was going to a gig and I thought, right, I need to put some aftershave on me because I spoke like before, so I don't do my lovely beforehand. And I had on the page open and I tore off the little label for the sample. And the problem was I wasn't stuff you could get on and just put on yourself. You had to really rub it to get the smell. Now, bearing in mind, across from me, there was a woman she would have been in the ranges of late 70s, mid 80s, was sitting there looking at me. For the entire journey, just had this eyes looking at me. She could have been dead, but and she was just looking at me for ages. And it came to the stage where I was going to apply the aftershave on me. So I got up the magazine and just rubbed it all over my face. Looked at her face, and it was just me rubbing a men's magazine across my face. The problem was, my girlfriend was sitting on the car. She didn't sit with me for this because I was kind of thinking over the settling. She was sitting beside me, and she hadn't a clue what was going on. She just looked at me like, I'm the carer. I'll leave you with this, just a quick thing. How your couple has a situation happened, you know, you all go through the shower. I don't mean having a shower together, that's not Americans. You know, the shower situation, where you, like for instance, if a woman goes into the shower, a woman will stand in the shower and she'll go, right, what do I need to put on myself? And she, oh well, I put on shampoo, oh I did my hair yesterday, I won't do my hair today, I used to be a body scrub or something like that. And dry yourself and get out. When a man goes into the shower, we stand in the shower, we look around the entire bathroom, and we are convinced that every bottle in that bathroom has some function on our body. We go mad for stuff, we go 90, hair gel, shower gel, foot rub, face rub, everywhere. I was sitting at my friend's house last year and I came out of the shower and she was going into the bathroom, into the shower, and I heard this roar. Charlie! She doesn't sound like that, but I can't do woman's roar. It was more of a kind of mellow woman's roar, like Charlie. And I went to have a look and see what was the situation. Went in the room, and what I managed to do was amazing. With all the chemicals and the soaps and all that stuff, I managed to create a Picasso-like piece on the entire bathroom floor, every colour imaginable, with my feet. And there's just this train going out of blue and red out to the bathroom. And my girlfriend is, we've been going out for a while, and she was one of, she was the first, I first went out with her when I was very young, because she was the one I lost my virginity to. And you all remember that, because that was the weirdest night of my life. It was at her house. We all sat out in her room, myself. We all, not like there was a crowd. Let's look and join them! We sat in her room. I was nervous, she wasn't. She was a bit of a slut. And yeah, I was 16. Actually, none of you know me, I was 12 when I lost my virginity. And it happened. My brain thought it would be a good idea if it told the rest of my body to sing. Which had pure nerves. I was completely nervous, and I began singing. And the song that came out of my mouth was a Christy Moore song called Ride On. So I was there sitting, she was there late, I was, come and eat me. I was there sitting, ride on, slowly. And we ended up going out for a while, and then I broke up with her. Now this is the part that's going to change the room completely. I broke up with her on her birthday, because I didn't know it. Yeah, the women are like, oh Charlie, you're bollocks. The men are like, oh Charlie, you're bollocks. I broke up with her on her birthday. Her birthday's on the 14th of February, and it's Valentine's Day. I leave you with that high note. Take it easy, have a good night.
Charlie Smith on 19 foot of him.